Good morning, everybody. Well, it's actually good afternoon. My sleep schedule has been completely messed up since the holidays. Today, I have a very, very insightful and useful video for you. I'm actually going to share with you a lot of the information that I typically preserve just for my Patreon members. The point being is that it's the holidays. I haven't made too many videos. And going forward, though, most of this content is going to be reserved for my Patreon members, plus so much more. So if you appreciate it and you enjoy it, I would encourage you to join the Patreon in the description below. Here we have our altcoin chart. As you can tell, we have been range bound for a couple weeks now. As soon as we put in this lower high, I drew out this channel and I said that we're probably entering into a downtrend. And that's exactly what's happened. We have been ranging from the highs and lows of this yellow channel. What's really cool though, is that when you get rid of these two extreme little sell-offs that we had, which are typical to have during a correction, we actually have kind of a second range that has been well tested and standing true. We are ranging in this little area. And I made this clear a few weeks back, but what I expect to see in the days or weeks to come is eventually we're going to break out of this range, we're going to retest it, and then commence the next leg of the bull market. Much of that, however, is going to be contingent on what Bitcoin does. Before we switch to Bitcoin, because I'm going to cover a lot of different charts today and give you a very good, healthy, holistic understanding of exactly where we're at in the market. Before we shift to Bitcoin, though, I want to share with you one other very important thing. Maybe a month or two back, I pointed out that the EMA-SMA crossover is very important. Whenever we see the white line above the pink line, we are in a bull market. Whenever it goes below, we're in a bear market or a bear trend. And this is true with every single cryptocurrency. When you go back many different times that we've seen parabolic run-ups, we want to see the white line above the pink line to know that we are in a bull market or a bull trend. What's really cool is that even though we had the crossover back here when we put in the lower high, when we zoom in, we can actually see that the white line is stabilizing and getting ready to cross again over the pink line, commencing the next leg up of the bull run. Again, that is going to be contingent, however, on Bitcoin and the rest of the market. Now, let me make something very clear here. Nothing that I say is financial advice. I am simply documenting my journey to help you along the way. And if it is helpful to you, I encourage you to like and subscribe. You are 100% responsible for yourself. Hopefully, some of the information that I provide adds value to you. And if it does, you should join the Patreon and like and subscribe so that we can win together this bull run. So back to others. We have this channel and we are ranging in it. And eventually, I expect that we are going to break out of this range and start the next leg up. This time of year, we have very, very low volume. I have the indicators hidden here, but we have very low volume going on, and that is to be expected given that it's the holidays. I expect in 2025, we're going to see an amazing, amazing bull run. Now, something that's very important to note. A lot of people are wondering, what should we do? I'm scared. Do we buy? Do we sell? Well, let me show you something very historically awesome with a Fibonacci retracement. I'm going to draw for you a Fibonacci retracement. This typically shows great entry points, especially the golden pocket in any asset class, whether that's stocks, whether that's cryptos, you name it. So if we take the QQQ and we look historically, when we had this parabolic run up, okay, we can say all the way back from December of 2018, all the way up to November of 2021. So the start of 2022, when we went into an entire recession / a year of downtrend, where did we bottom out? We bottomed out in this golden pocket. Once we were in this golden pocket, this was perfect accumulation zone for the next leg up. When we take a look at others and we draw a simple retracement, okay, a fib retracement from the top of this recent rise to the bottom, we are sitting perfectly in the golden pocket. In my opinion, this is great accumulation zone if you believe that this bull market is not over yet. I don't think that it is wise personally. I do not try and time bottoms. I don't try and exit positions to rebuy lower. The time to sell would have been up here when I was warning my Patreon members, warning people on YouTube, all of the reasons that we were due for a correction pretty soon. And again, hate to toot my own horn here, but I was like one of the only people warning of that. So we looked at that. We looked at the altcoins. We're in the golden pocket. We looked at how that's proven true over time. I've talked about the SMA EMA crossover. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin specifically. We have a very interesting thing happening here. We were hyper extended, okay? And this blue line right here is your 50-day SMA. It is very normal to come down and touch the 50-day SMA in a bull run. So when we zoom out and we go back to previous bull runs, you can tell there were many instances where we hit this blue line. And once we go below it, it is kind of a bear market. It's you know, the party's over. So what we see here is that in this recent bull run, we finally had our first test of the 50 SMA. We actually have broken below it, and that is a little bit of an item of concern for a lot of people. If this bull run is over, then yes, this is a great indication of it. However, if the bull run is not, What this does is this shows in this area, a lot of people are getting shaken out of their positions. They're getting scared out of their positions. I want to see Bitcoin reclaim this blue line. Also, what's important to note is look at how many times that we have come into this area of liquidity. Look at how many times that we've seen price action hit these levels, okay? We broke above it, we came back down into it. We broke above it, we came back down into it. Broke above it, we wicked into it. Broke above it, we wicked into it. Broke above it, we wicked into it. Hyperextended, wicked back into it. Went above it, went back into it, okay? What I love to see recently, though, is that we still have very good wicks on these candles, which means that when price action is entering into this area, it's getting bought right up, showing that we have a wick. Even this morning when we dipped into it and we took out liquidity, we now have a bullish engulfing candle overtaking it. So I also pointed out in the Patreon yesterday that we have liquidity sitting down here that will likely get taken out. I even said that we could potentially see around 88,000. Is that going to happen or not? Well, time will tell. But the point being is that we've hit the 50 SMA, we've gone below it. And when we look at the macro view, if you believe that this bull run's not over, in my opinion, this is not the time to be exiting your altcoins or anything like that. I believe that this is the reaccumulation window. And what I want to see is us get back above this line and commence the next level of the bull run. Let's talk about something else. Everyone loves the Bitcoin dominance chart. If Bitcoin dominance is going down, our altcoins are going up. I personally really love the total 3 divided by Bitcoin because this gives us a very similar take of what's going on. How is the rest of cryptocurrency, your altcoins, doing in comparison to Bitcoin? Well, for the longest part, Bitcoin was the star of the show. So we saw the total 3, which is all of your cryptocurrencies except for Bitcoin and Ethereum, going down, forming this descending wedge. What's very typical is that you see a breakout and a retest. And that's exactly what's happened. We have a breakout. We went into the strong level of resistance, which rejected it, and we had a retest. When we zoom in here, what's really cool? Remember those white and red lines that I was talking about? If the white line is above the pink line, we're in a bull market. Well, we recently saw them cross over at exactly the point of the breakout. So on the weekly time frame here, this is actually pretty bullish. We can actually see that money is moving into altcoins. I expect that we will probably still chop around in the short term for a little bit, but eventually, if we are still in a bull run, we will commence this upwards hike. We will probably hit this level of resistance again, chop around, maybe reject from it, but eventually we will flip this level of resistance into support. Why I also love this chart, looking at the weekly time frame, is that this gives us perfect, really, really great exit areas. We know that when we look at previous bull runs, so the pink down here being Bitcoin's price, when it was reaching near all-time highs and money was moving out of Bitcoin into altcoins, we saw that the altcoins actually stalled out at these key levels. Another local high for Bitcoin. Money had moved out of Bitcoin into altcoins. We stalled out. We stalled out. We stalled out. When we get to this area, I would say anywhere above the 16M all the way up to the 20M, this is a prime profit-taking window, okay? So I'm going to be keeping an eye on the total 3 divided by Bitcoin. And once we get into the 16 to 20 level, I'm going to be scaling out of most of my positions quite heavily. Let's take a look at the total market cap. What happened to this bull run is we came up and we broke above your previous all-time highs. We actually rejected from it a little bit, then we broke above. This is the entire cryptocurrency market cap. When we look at individuals such as Bitcoin, okay, we came up, we hit it, we stalled for a while, then we broke above it. We have not seen that happen yet with your total 3. So all of your altcoins, we've only come up and hit the recent all-time high, and we've drawn back. And if I do a fib retracement here, let's see if we hit the golden pocket. Yeah, we wicked all the way into the bottom of the golden pocket right here. So this is, again, this wick low that we had the liquidation flush round 2. That was a perfect entry. And I think that what's going to happen is in the days and weeks to come, we're actually going to come back up to this previous all-time high, maybe chop around it, maybe get rejected from it a little bit, then commence another breakout, just like we saw Bitcoin do. Bitcoin broke above its previous all-time highs, then went into price discovery. And I expect the same thing to happen with our altcoins. So when we look at all of this information, the short-term aspect of what altcoins are doing, being rejected from the top channel of this range, seeing Bitcoin come back down to the 50 SMA, chop around, test liquidity here quite a bit. When we look at the altcoins and the potential that they have ahead of them, I personally hold the belief that the best is yet to come. Are you at the start of this bull run? No. I think that a lot of parabolic gains have already been made. Probably half of it is over, and actually more than half. As I've mentioned in my Patreon and other times, summers are very bad for crypto, so I personally will be exiting a lot by the summer. But when we look at everything, I think that we still have a very bullish case that this is not the time to be shaken out of your positions whatsoever. I think that this is a reaccumulation phase. If you did not sell at the local tops and you wrote it out, I'd say well done to you, and strap on your seatbelt, continue to sit on your hands and get ready for the next leg up if we continue this bull run. Because again, nothing that I say is financial advice. I'm just documenting and sharing my journey, and you are 100% responsible for yourself. If you are looking to make any types of purchases, I would encourage you to check with a financial advisor. Have I made my disclaimers clear enough? So, as I mentioned at the start of this video, a lot of this type of content I reserve exclusively for my Patreon members. As well, I typically type it up and share it with them so that they don't have to wait 4 or 5 days to go by for them to see a next video. They get all that information right away and so much more. Content like this that I've shared today, I will not be sharing publicly on YouTube that much because this is, the stuff that I share for my Patreon members, but it's the holidays and I wanted to give this to you and I believe that it's going to help you. So if it has helped you, please like and subscribe. I encourage you to join the Patreon for information like this and so much more. And also check out the links in the description. So thank you for watching. Let's hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments below. Anything else that you want me to cover, maybe I'll cover it. Let me know. But thank you for watching, and until next time.